Welcome back to Niners Nation, everybody. The 49ers are 3-1 as we hit the first quarter of the season. The team has really shown some good things in winning their 3 games, but of course has also shown some areas where they could stand to improve moving forward. I thought, before we get into Week 5, that I'd take a look at the first quarter of the season, kind of in a nutshell, and see what has worked for the 49ers, where they can improve, and sort of look ahead to the next quarter of the season. We'll start with the offensive MVP. You could really make a lot of cases on this team, but I would stand to argue that the offensive line really has been the strongest unit and the most valuable in really the development of this team. They have given up 12 sacks of Alex Smith, which is 6th in the NFL, but you could also point out that Alex Smith often will take a sack over forcing that bad throw that could turn into a turnover. The real key has been that the rushing game is just absolutely dominating. The 49ers are averaging 5.4 yards per carry, which is 2nd in the NFL right now, behind just the Kansas City Chiefs. And Frank Gore is looking really as spry as ever. Even in the game they lost to the Vikings, Gore was averaging over 5 yards a carry, but for some reason the 49ers really just kind of abandoned the run. The key has been the development on the right side of Alex Boone and Anthony Davis. I think both are exceeding most of our expectations at this point, and if they can keep it up and keep consistent, the sky's the limit with this unit. On the other side of the ball, I thought that rather than really determine an MVP of a unit like this, really I think we need to look at really the most improved player. And in this case, I would say that that's Deshaun Goldson. I'm sure others will argue maybe for Aldon Smith, given the new role he's taken on as a full-time linebacker, but Goldson has really stepped up his game, particularly as a coverage safety, and playing in that center field role. He's had some inconsistencies over the years, and that is one of the reasons the 49ers have been less than inclined to offer him a multi-year deal. So I think his ability to play more of that center field role with more consistency has been pivotal for that secondary. We saw it with the big defensive play against Antonio Holmes against the Jets, and really he's developed a consistency that the 49ers need back there. As we look at how the 49ers have performed, one of the more amazing things is that this has basically been a redshirt year for their entire rookie class. 49ers drafted A.J. Jenkins and LaMichael James in the first 2 rounds, but neither has played. Jenkins was active 1 game but didn't see the field, while LaMichael James has been inactive all 3 games. I think this is as much due to the depth of this team across the board as anything else. I do think we might see James and Jenkins getting some playing time late in the season if the 49ers can really open up a lead in the NFC West. But otherwise, barring injury, they really are just going to spend this year learning, it would seem like. And looking at some of the unsung heroes of the team, Michael Crabtree is one of the more high-profile 49ers, but I think he really deserves a lot of praise for what he has done this year in connecting with Alex Smith, particularly on 3rd downs. While Crabtree does get a lot of press, I still think he qualifies as an unsung hero for sort of the yeoman-like effort he provides, particularly on 3rd down. We saw that against the Lions, and while he hasn't kept up that 104 catch pace, he is still proving to be pivotal. He's really been the most important player on 3rd down, it seems like. As far as areas to improve, while I could say that Randy Moss needs to step up, I actually think it's more that the game plan needs to reflect him a little bit differently. Right now, the 49ers are using him a little bit, and at this point, defenses are giving him a tremendous amount of respect, which is kind of amazing considering the fact that he sat out all of last year. Defenses are giving him a cushion down underneath, and they are double and triple teaming him over the top. So at some point, my guess is the 49ers are trying to lull teams into sort of a false sense of security with Moss to the point where they start to kind of forget about him, and that's when Alex Smith burns them deep. But I really don't know. It's hard to tell what the mindset is of the 49ers with regards to Randy Moss. I don't expect them to turn into sort of a spread it out type of team, but I do think at some point they're going to need to utilize Randy Moss more to keep teams honest. We'll see when that happens and if it happens. Well, now that the first quarter of the season is done and we look ahead to the next quarter, the 49ers really have a big stretch. They face the Bills, Giants, Seahawks, and Cardinals. The first 3 games are at home, And they'll be favored in all 3 of those games and really should win those games. I don't know if I'd call them must win, but they definitely should win. These are games that can really start to create some space in the playoff race. And of course, that Cardinals game, that could be quite the showdown if the Cardinals keep winning. Well, there you have it. That's a quick look at the first quarter of the season. The 49ers are looking solid, but definitely some areas for improvement. Feel free to drop your comments about what your thoughts are about the team through 4 games. And, of course, make sure and subscribe to the SB Nation Niners Nation channel. We're going to have plenty of post-game reaction throughout the season and, of course, the Google Hangouts we started to do. So check back, and we'll talk to you soon.